tanks and Apache helicopters moved forward, slaughtering their way through Iraqi resistance. The Tawakalna Republican Guard Division and 10 other Iraqi divisions were destroyed in the fighting. The US lost 6 men. 2. Battle of Arakout. The Battle of Arakout from September 18 to 29, 1944, was the largest tank battle the US had conducted up to that point in history and saw the American forces brilliantly destroy 2 panzer brigades and additional units from 2 panzer divisions. The US commander used true combined arms artillery, infantry, air power and armor to win. On one fog-covered morning, the Shermans flanked the panzers and took out 11 in a single attack. The 12-day battle in eastern France ended with 86 German tanks destroyed and 114 damaged or broken down from an original total of only 262. 3. Battle of Sidi Bouzid. The Battle of Sidi Bouzid took place within the Battle of Kasserine Pass. German General Heinz Ziegler led over 200 tanks, including 2 veteran panzer divisions. Meanwhile, the American forces were a single understrength division with only 7 of its 13 maneuver battalions. Worse, many of the units were still using the technologically inferior M3 General Grant tanks. The US units were quickly pushed back and then surrounded on a series of hilltops. After days of hard fighting, the US retreated and left the cut-off forces. American units lost over 2,500 men and had 103 tanks destroyed. 4. Battle of Medina Ridge. Over 100 US tanks raced towards about 100 Iraqi tanks that were dug into defensive positions at the Battle of Medina Ridge in April 1991. The fights was one-sided as the Americans had air support and tanks that could fire from nearly twice as far as the Iraqis. After only 40 minutes, most of the Iraqi tanks were burning in their holes while the Americans continued their advance. 5. Battle of 73 Easting. Then Captain H.R. McMaster, now a lieutenant general, was leading his troop of 9 M1 tanks in an armed reconnaissance when he crested a hill and found himself facing an elite Iraqi division. He decided he was too close to the enemy tanks to withdraw and call in the rest of the armored cavalry regiment, so his tanks attacked their way through it instead. The Americans cut a 5-kilometer wide swath through the Iraqi division and then their brothers in Ghost, Killer, and Iron troops joined the fight. By the time the US stopped firing to ask for the Iraqis' surrender, 1,000 Iraqi soldiers had been killed and 85 tanks, 40 armored vehicles, 30 other vehicles, and 2 artillery batteries had been destroyed. Most of the Iraqis quickly surrendered. 6. Battle of the Bulge. When the Germans assaulted Allied lines in what would become the Battle of the Bulge, US tanks and infantry struggled to hold the line against the nearly 1,000 tanks and over 200,000 troops that struck on a 75-mile front. Tanks with the 7